once again, you are welcome to my YouTube channel, Queen Rami Talks. Guys, thank you so much for all the love that I'm receiving on this channel. You guys are amazing. So without any waste of time, today we are going to dwell on the topic of today, which is absent fathers. The negative effect that it does to a life of a young person, but specifically a girl child, which are some of the experiences that I found myself going through in my life. A month from now, I will be turning 31 years old. And yes, I grew up without my father. I know who he is. I know where he is. But we don't have a relationship. And I found myself in a place where I'm okay with the way the setup is. But I will mention that it's among also one of the most painful things a young person can find themselves in. So my channel is specifically to bring restoration and healing, and which is something that I believe God has dealt with in my life, because I can never give you something that I don't have. God had to first heal me and restore me so that I can pour into your cups. So firstly, I will mention on this topic, as a young girl, you need a sense of belonging. So when you grow up without a voice of a father, or let me just say a male figure, you find yourself wanting to belong. That means you have to go out and search for a place of belonging. You know, I hear people on Father's Day, they say, Happy Father's Day to my mother. Guys, that will never work. There is a huge difference between a woman and a man. And God specifically made a man a leader and a priest, or rather a pastor, in your life for a specific reason. So there are some things that can be said to a young girl by a mother and they will make sense. And there are also some things that can be said to a young girl by their father and they will make even more sense. So the voice of a father cannot be replaced by anything in the child of a young person, specifically a girl child. So for me, I found myself searching or having a gap in my life that needed to be filled. So that gap also, like I said in my previous videos, there are certain gaps in your life that can only be filled by God. So me growing up without a father was also God's way of bringing me back to him. Today I stand amazed at the love of God because in him I found a father. And he is indeed a father to the fatherless. But that for me was a journey. So at the beginning I never knew God as a father. So I wanted an earthly father who will fulfill my needs, not only financial needs. Which takes me to the point that says every man needs to have a relationship with their child, whether they are still together with the mother of the child or not. And then some will come and say, but I send my child money every month. Money cannot erase that gap that a child has. And that gap that needs to be filled by love, that needs to be filled by laughter. You know, we need to come to a stand of raising broken generations. We are raising kids that are from broken setups. We are a generation that is broken due to some of the things that we went through. So I pray by all means that we can cut that curse by also laying this kind of topics down on the table, by calling a spade a spade. Some of us today, people are suffering today because of those kids that they left behind. Some men today, they are trying so hard to live a good life, but they can't because they're also feeling the gap that their child is feeling out there without them in their lives. Okay, for me, a sense of belonging brought me into a place of being in relationships that I knew I was not supposed to be in, which led me to a place where sometimes you will find yourself in abusive setups. Why? Because you are afraid of leaving that person that gave you a hope of belonging. You think you are being loved, but you are not loved, but you love the setup where you belong, where you find yourself being labeled you are a girlfriend of that person. You start feeling important, because remember, you don't have that person that you can point at and call a father to. I know a lot of young girls can relate to this. Some young girls, if it's not relationships that they are trying to find solace in, some young girls are finding themselves drowning in alcohol. They think that drinking all their sorrows, all that gap will vanish. Unfortunately, it doesn't vanish. So this is my call also to all the men out there. Go out there and be there for your child. Love your child. Yes, you might not be able to spend time with them. You might not be able to take them out. Whatever it takes, go and love your child. It is very, very painful for a girl child to seek love from some place where you are not even sure that you will get it. Which takes me to the point of rejection. You find yourself in jobs that you don't even want to be in, but you are afraid to leave, because if you leave, you will feel like a failure. And failure is a reminder to you that the devil will use and say to you, you see, that's why you are failing, because you don't even have a father. To you, sometimes as a young girl, your solution to problems is leaving. You think that leaving places, packing your bags is a solution. Because why would you worry about building something when your own father was not there to build with you? Oh, I hope a life will be changed with this video. You become so afraid of rejection that you accept anything that comes. You accept friendships that don't have meaning in your life, because you are afraid of being rejected. The same rejection that you are feeling from your father is the same rejection that you will find some places. You don't even want to be among people or among groups, because you know that somehow you will be rejected. That's a spirit that will follow you, the spirit of rejection. So the reason why I'm touching too much on rejection is because I found myself in that place. If you can look at my purpose video, you find yourself allowing people to define you. You are being defined by people because you don't know who you are. And whenever you try to become something, you are reminded of that father that you lack, that you don't have. Some men today, they are trying to build new families. They are married out there with women, but they are not finding peace because of the tears of those children they left behind. I'm not saying bring those children into your lives and break your beautiful families. No. What I'm saying to you is make peace with that child that you left behind. Make peace with that child that every night you are not even sure whether they are still alive or not. You are not even sure whether they have eaten or not. It all goes back to the issue of mindset. Our minds are programmed to think that it's normal to just sleep with a woman and have a child and run away. It has even become a joke. It has become a joke in South Africa where they will say it's normal for a man to give a lady a child and run away. That's a norm. I beg to differ. There is nothing normal about that. It's actually a crisis that we need to address as a country, that we need to address as a generation. How many fatherless children are out there? How many will go out there and seek love from men that don't even love them? It's not all that are going to accept the love of God and understand that God loves them and not seek love from other men. Some will seek love from the wrong men with the aim of finding money, with the aim of finding love. But what if you end up being killed? What if they end up being infected with HIV? What if they end up being given another child on top of the misery that they are going through? Just because you as a father, you are not playing your role. So I hope someone is going to change the way they see situations, the way being an absent father. You know how painful it is to be told that there is your father. You look like him, but you don't even know him. You don't even know his name. You don't even have a relationship with him. But all you hear is that you look like your father. It's very, very painful. Or to find yourself finding him on social media, flaunting a good life, wearing expensive clothing, drinking the wines, but he doesn't have the decency to protect his seed, to protect that very breath that he brought to life. Yes, women are being taught to remain strong and all those things, but trust me, a father figure, it's a very important figure in a child's life. In closure, allow me to say this part where after you have mended that relationship with your child or whatever the case, trust me, guys, I know even women, there are ladies who are denying access to the fathers of their kids because they are hurt. I will end on this by saying, women, we need to outgrow our feelings and love that person that we are raising. Because some of the children that we are raising and blocking access to their fathers will grow up to resent you as a mother. You cannot deny a father access to their child. Some of the women out there, you will have to be answering to God why you took a certain decision. Because remember, how a child grows affects their future. How a child carries themselves is by the background that they had. We find children today, they are so rebellious. They don't want to listen to anyone because of the fact that they don't know what it means to listen to a male person. They don't know what it means to listen to a father. So let us, by all means, try to mend broken relationships. Let us, by all means, try to protect the seed that we have brought in this life.